It is politics. It is cheapness. It is thinking we are foolish. You cannot touch matters tax in a piecemeal. No. It has to be a comprehensive. You address tax in this country in a comprehensive manner. Those good buses, I don't want rich people to bring them. No. You need a tough man like me.
All right.
To put these people together, the matatu owners and the border owners, to be the new owners of the modern transport. Until you formalize a sector, government cannot get revenue.
All right.
I am against a situation where you go to Nairobi, it is like a slum. No serious investor will come to Nairobi with all the no investor will come to a country.
Kenya has a large and burgeoning informal sector that continues to contribute significantly to Kenya's total economic output. However, what setbacks are facing the sector that we need to address today, if not yesterday? As always, I'm yours truly, Richard Mwenja, son of the soil, resident host here on the channel, and to dissect into this conversation, I'm joined by Kenya's most sought-after political analyst and East Africa's renowned public scholar. The first of his name, Herman Manyora. How are you doing, sir?
I'm okay.
All right. I know you want to play the humble card here, but it's not going to work.
Yes.
All right. We are looking at informal sector and particularly SMEs under it. And let's start from a general standpoint. You've seen the latest setback being the ban on scrap metal. Will you say that the moratorium that has been extended on the metal thing isn't going to work for many enterprises?
Well, there are things to consider. First of all, I think I agree with the president. Vandalism
of public infrastructure
is no longer something you can, no longer tenable. You cannot spend huge sums of money to install things like power supply lines and then allow crooks to vandalize and take to scrap metal dealers. So you have to put a stop with that. How you do it is another story.
So you'll agree with me that there is a police unit that takes care of, say, public buildings. How about we now extend these security agencies and they look at critical infrastructure that's spread all over the country?
You know, that's part of what I'm saying. We agree that vandalism is not good.
Definitely.
It's hurting the economy. It is standing in the way of value for money, like the president said. How we deal with it is what is important. Well, one way is to step up security. But you'll also agree with me, we can't place a policeman everywhere there is something. But if power lines and transformers are all over the country and other things, you can't have policemen manning all those things. The critical infrastructure unit, the protection unit, can only do so much. In other words, you are going to have 10 million policemen just even wires passing next to you.
However, look at the hundreds of thousands of Kenyans who are employed on artisanal fronts who are now using scrap metal for their business. These are livelihoods that have been suspended.
I am saying the principle here is that we need to do something about it.
But that wasn't the best way to go around it.
But how you go around it is something we can discuss. Yes.
All right, I see. I see you're trying really to go to kind of camouflage.
No, what I'm saying is we agree that we cannot allow scrap metal business
Dealers,
to be a conduit for vandalism of important state installations.
All right, now you've rightly placed it.
Or infrastructure.
Yeah.
How we address that is something we can sit down and discuss.
Okay.
For Uhuru, it was quickly to stop it. That is him.
As a temporary measure.
Yes. Somebody else would have done it in a different way. We can discuss what other ways we can do. Because there is no going in saying the fact that there are people who are hurting because of that. For everything you do, there will be innocent people who will get hurt for nothing. There are innocent scrap metal dealers who are suffering. But it's also true, and they will agree, that their friends and colleagues and partners abet this crime.
All right.
Yeah.
Well-performing economies in Africa, majority of them have come up with a ministerial docket that deals with community development. Is it high time that perhaps will Raila or Ruto get into State House come August 2022, that's a ministry they need to create that will look at the issues surrounding informal sector enterprises?
I want to agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I do not only wish to talk to Ruto if I could get him and Raila, but I would actually ask them to give me that ministry.
Why you?
Why? Because I have ideas.
All right, tell us.
And I think you need a ministry that can address these issues of the informal sector in a more practical way.
And robust.
Robust, if you wish. You know, I hold what might appear to be contradictory opinion. I know that a very big percentage of our economy is sustained by the informal sector.
Yeah.
It will include Mkokoteni, wheelbarrow pushers,
Mama Mboga,
Nuthi, you know, they're called
blacksmiths and
border, all those people there. And small traders. Oh, I hear almost 75-80%.
Yeah, of Kenya's labor.
I therefore believe this is the goose that lays a golden egg. You cannot slaughter it. You need to support it. But on the other hand, I also believe no economy can grow if everything is Juakali.
True.
You must find a way of formalizing this sector so that the players in this sector can even better their lives and get more income. And once it is formalized, not only will they improve their livelihoods and get more money, the government will also attract more investment that will use this as a base. You get it? And secondly, government will raise revenue. Until you formalize a sector, government cannot get revenue.
All right.
I am against a situation where you go to Nairobi, it is like a slum. No serious investor will come to Nairobi with all the no investor will come to a country. We need serious investment because it is from serious investment that this small other investment can survive. When I hear people talking bottoms up, I don't know what they are saying. That man down there, that Mama Mboga in Moisbridge, depends on the money you send to them to pump into their business. Hiyo pesa ameanzisha imetoka wapi?
Come on.
Yes, mpaka itoke kwako ambao umeandikwa na kampuni kubwa Nairobi.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. We need to support the informal sector. But with one thing in mind, we need to lift it from there to a formal status.
All right.
Allow me to use a simple example. Matatu in this country and the borders, especially in Nairobi, are a nuisance. We lose billions of shillings because of traffic jams in Nairobi. Many investors will think twice before coming to Nairobi because Nairobi is not a place a doctor could reach you if you have an emergency. You are an investor staying in some estate or in an office there's an emergency. A doctor can't reach you because of jam. You can't move freely and do your business because of jam. So we must remove the matatu from Nairobi. We must remove the border. No town can exist with this informal transport. But you need a Manyora to be the minister so that I get all these Nduthi people and all these matatu people to be the ones who will own the new transport. The kind of things you see in Dar es Salaam. Those good buses, I don't want rich people to bring them. No. You need a tough man like me.
All right.
To put these people together, the matatu owners and the border owners, to be the new owners of the modern transport. You get those nice buses. And even we move even into trams and trains, light trains. But to be owned by these people whom we are removing from this informal transport that is making Nairobi a slum instead of a city.
All right.
Yeah.
Low technology uptake continues to be a major challenge for enterprise in the informal sector. However, if you look at countries like China, even the informal sector is heavily endowed with modern machinery and technological uptake. We have a Kenyan delegation in China acting as our ambassadors. Is it high time perhaps they leverage on our bilateral ties and see probably cheaper machinery come and be availed to these people?
I have told you, we don't have ambassadors, we have tourists. Those are just jokers. That's why if Raila or Ruto don't make him a minister in charge of community development, they should send me to China as an ambassador.
What will you do?
What I will do, I will link up this Juakali sector with China, the manufacturing, so that instead of those people boom, boom, boom at Bama, they will get modern equipment. I will take their leaders to go and learn how these things are done in China. I will bring modern machinery to make work easier and faster. I will work with the TVETs, training institutions, to ensure they don't teach people old-fashioned trades done in old-fashioned ways. So that when you are training people to fabricate things, they are going to China to learn the machines that will be using in the future.
Even artisanal
not the
gold
old
miners.
machines that were used in the 20th century, in the 18th century. So a TVET must have its graduates graduate knowing how to handle modern equipment. And I facilitate the training with Chinese institutions. I facilitate the bringing of those machinery, those equipment, especially appropriate, the ones that rely on appropriate technology, not very expensive. So that when you go to where they are Juakali, I facilitate the proper sheds for Juakali people. So they work under human conditions, under conditions that are favorable for a human being, with even music playing as they hammer away those things. You need somebody like me to be either the Kenyan ambassador in China or the minister in charge of community development.
All right,
not Manyora. I don't mean Manyora, I mean people who have the capacity like me.
In the fullness of time, we shall see how that will unfold.
I think it will work. Really? Ruto will give me if he gets. Raila will give me if anybody getting, they'll give me.
Even Professor Wajakoya.
Even Wajakoya will give me minister in charge of industrialization.
I see. Okay, if we are looking at the issue of startup capital, majority enterprises in the informal sector largely depend on family funds and on savings. Why are they shying away from funds that were allocated for the sector, say the Wezo Fund, the Women Enterprise Fund, and all that?
It's back where we were. It is not well thought out. It's not structured. You give money the way Ruto is talking about bottom up for populist reasons. Government has pumped so much money down there without structures. An average young boy from your place in Moist Beach, an average young man from Hamis, where I come from, in Luombe village, cannot access those funds. It shows you, look, why am I talking of the community development ministry? In the 70s and 80s, there was a department of community development. Under it, we had youth development officers. You see, these youth development officers were the ones that will even teach you young people how to access credit, how to do a proposal. You get it? How to start an organization, how to start an association, how to start a small company, how to source business. All those things died. So you need to revive now, not as a department, but as a ministry with a wider mandate given to somebody with the capacity to see things in a modern way and to leverage on what we can get from our partners like Chinese and Indians.
William Ruto's economic manifesto seeks to address majority of people who are in the most bottom part of the social pyramid, and that loosely translates to those in the informal sector. However, if you look at his position on the subject of tax, when we were discussing the issue of 8% tax on pump prices, he actually supported it and said nothing shall come in the way of development agenda for this country. But right now he's talking about getting to government and pushing down this very same taxation so that these people enjoy in the informal sector. Isn't that a case of saying now double speak? And
it is politics. It is cheapness. It is thinking we are foolish. You cannot touch matters tax in a piecemeal. No. It has to be a comprehensive. You address tax in this country in a comprehensive manner.
I see. The place of research in Kenya hasn't really taken shape yet. However, how can we go around the issue of getting these people in the informal sector ramp up to and take up technological advancement that have been advanced this far?
This country should have learned from Corona and other issues that you need knowledge. You cannot move far unless you are a knowledge-based economy. And one way of being a knowledge-based economy is to learn from countries like Germany. Give a sufficient percentage of your income to research. Make sure a very reasonable, even recommendations by UNICEF, how much of your budget should go to research. Follow those recommendations and all else shall flow.
coming to the tail, we've seen many unsupported local industries at devolved government levels. You've seen the case of soapstone carving in Nyamira. We have granite in Vihiga County, where you come from. Is it time ripe enough for allocating more funds to the developed governments as the governors want, so that at least an increment of several billions will be directed to such local industries?
You create structures. You create an enabling environment. But just giving counties money is not enough.
I see.
They already have some money. They are doing something, but not good enough. You need to create structures. You need to create ways of doing things. You need to institutionalize those things, so that by the time you send money there, you are sending money to a place where money will do what it was meant to do. Yeah.
The very last, it has to be the thing to do with the oil prices, which has affected production cost for the informal sector largely. Would you say that with the coming of the Turkana oil on board, we are singly going to the direction of the informal sector benefiting from reduced palm prices?
We long stopped hearing about Turkana oil, tallow oil. I don't know what happened. And even if it were to come out like I don't know what, there's a curse of oil, you know. So I don't expect much. The only thing I can talk about oil, if Manyora walked into State House, the president of Kenya, I will remove all levies on oil first. All. And let's see, can I get that money from elsewhere? Because it's easy money. When you go for oil money, tax, you're going for easy money. Can my minister in charge of finance come out thinking? I tell him, I am going to put only 10 shillings on every liter of petrol for government. The rest I've removed. Then I tell you, as the minister in charge of finance, tell me how I'll get the alternative funds. If you don't, go home.
Well, an elder has spoken. That is your renowned public scholar, Herman Manyora, touching on the issue of how we can channel the growth of the informal sector in Kenya and make sure in the fullness of time the sector is revitalized. Now, our fan of the week today is none other than Benjamin Tanui in Baringo.
Benjamin Tanui from Baringo, thank you for being part of this family. We celebrate you and tell other people from Baringo to join this family so that we have a conversation about our country.
All right, make sure you don't miss out on our African proverb of the day, because it is not only funny, but has nuggets of wisdom in there that you should get posted on. Until next time on this conversation, my name is Richard Mwenja. Have a lovely day ahead.